Smoking hot coffee. Smoking hot coffee.
Hello everybody, my name is Amol Patel. I'm in Los Angeles. You're watching the Smoking Hot Coffee Show, where we cover internet startups, monetization, design, and marketing. I'm joined with...
Hey guys, I'm Jeff Pelton. I'm down here in San Diego.
And you can reach Jeff at @Comster and me at @Amol_Patel. All right, so Jeff, looks like we're about a month in. Let's quickly look at our stats, huh?
Yeah, it's Monday. I think we should take a quick peek at our YouTube dashboard.
Yep, so here we are, guys. We are now at 634 views. Yes! We're cranking along, Jeff.
Yeah, 12 subscribers, not bad.
Yeah, 12 subscribers. So we've been doing this for about a month. Is that about right, Jeff?
I think more than that, right? Because I was mentioning to you that since we've been doing it for more than 30 days, that view counter is, not the view counts are different, right? The total in the last 30 days.
So is it fair to say that we're averaging about 500 views or so a month? Would you say that's about right?
Yeah, I think that's what that's telling us, right?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's quickly look at the analytics here. Yeah, it looks like we're not making any money. So clearly we're not having enough views to show any earnings. And I know we ran a few of the ads on some of our videos, and then we turned them off simply because we don't want to turn anybody off by the ads. And clearly that might have been a good move since we're not making any money off the ads, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting experiment to try, right, and see what happens. But yeah, clearly none of the dollars have popped up. So.
Not yet.
So I don't think we're significant enough amount of views to bring in revenue.
And this kind of brings me back to an interesting story I read today that people were complaining to the head of, I guess, content over there at YouTube, that these big studios, like the big studios that is YouTube studios, Maker Studios, and those kind of folks, they're not making enough money to cover their expenses, or they're not making enough profit or something like that. I was reading that today. So I think YouTube makes something like 50 to 70% of the ad revenue. I mean, they take a massive chunk. And to be fair, they're paying for the hosting and the streaming.
Yeah, this hosting is not cheap.
It is not cheap. So, but it is going down, right? I mean, this, hosting and streaming are going down. It'd be very interesting to see where that shakes out. Company like Maker Studios and and people on that level, they don't really have that many options. Who else is it beyond YouTube? There's Vimeo. Who else is the biggest? I mean, there's nobody.
What was that other big one that does white labeling? Gosh, I forget. I definitely looked them up when we ran into them when we covered some other startup. That do big, beautiful, higher, almost I think higher quality than Vimeo, maybe even, and white label, so it gives you some freedom and flexibility to do stuff the way you need. But we can't go wrong with YouTube when they don't limit us, right? They just it's a free for all, and it's great.
It is a free for all, but trying to make a business model out of YouTube can be challenging. So the trick is to keep your burn low. Keep your burn low and keep your enterprise low, and hopefully that 20 to 30% cut that you get will work out in the end. All right, so with that, let's cover our first news topic today. Fab stops sending you emails you don't read, even when you don't ask them to. So what is this about, Jeff?
So I just kind of saw this headline. I thought it was interesting because we are very conscious and trying to strategize when it comes to email marketing. And a lot of, I get a lot of email. I think I mentioned it maybe on the last show that turntable.fm sends me an incredible amount of spam now, and some other site, Spotify also. And so this is great to see that Fab, what did they do here in their email or their message to everyone? It says stop and a period with like a heart icon. It says, all right, we heard you loud and clear. We've noticed that you haven't opened our Sunday through Thursday evening sales emails in a while. So we have gone ahead and opted you out, and that's in bold, of them. The last thing we want is to clutter your inbox. Click here to opt back into your customized. So.
I have to tell you, Jeff, this is pretty ballsy. This goes against...
Bold move, yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty bold. I mean, these guys are essentially saying, we're going to opt you out, but they're not actually opting you out. Generally speaking, opting you out means to remove you from the list. They're simply opting you out for these specific dates during the week, which is fine.
Which is smart, right? Because then they still have you. Because the fear is if you're annoying and you get marked as spam, you're never going to get into the inbox.
Yeah.
So this is really, I think, a lesson in like good behavior. If you misbehave, Turntable and Spotify are now strictly in my spam box. And I've actually I can't think of what other services, but I've noticed with other services, if I'll peek in my spam box every once in a while, and I'll be like, oh, there's something from them in there, because everyone else is marking it as spam, right? Because these automated website services, they just automatically generate email all day long, and
Yeah.
it's kind of annoying,
It
to
is,
say
but
the least.
I have to say though this is an interesting move from Fab because on the one hand they're saying, hey, we're listening to you, we love you, we're going to opt you out, but I guarantee you, Jeff, they've probably ran the numbers. They know what is working for who, and so they're just going to hit you when it works for them. This is a win-win for both actually. This is a win for them and it's a win for you.
Exactly,
You know.
because exactly, it's just more tailored. It's just being smarter. I mean, the thing that we should be really taking notice of is how did they do this? This meant that they were looking at your analytics and not just on a whole. They're tailoring analytics to you as an individual, right?
Right.
So maybe if I opened emails on Wednesday and Tuesday, they would have sent me a different email,
Yeah. Yeah.
or they would give me a different pattern.
Right.
So I mean, that's what's kind of interesting here is, they're not just like making some choice to do this. They're like actually looking at analytic data from whether you open your email or not, which is a kind of tricky technical feat. But it's great to see them taking advantage of the information.
And for those that don't know, email marketing, especially for a company like Fab that's strictly online only, that is one of the key ways that they drive revenue. So they have to. They have to look at email trends and they have to look at all this stuff. And the more they segment their market and the more that they're conscious about making sure that you're happy to get their emails, that's huge for them. So this is a good move for them. I like seeing this. Email is a massive way to drive revenue, and so a company like Fab is definitely using that to their advantage. All right, so with that, Jeff, let's move on to our first startup here.
Sure.
Here we are at whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, there we go. We are at Discobo. Did I say that right? Discobo.
Who knows? It says, discover the best product for your daily problems. So
wow.
I love this. This is a pretty big, it's a big issue, right? Like we all like it's kind of the heart of entrepreneurship, right?
Yep, absolutely. And so the idea is that you want to solve people's problems and you want to charge them for solving their problems. So okay, so now we've got a sort of a one column layout here where we've got these sort of panels, and on the right or on the left we've got a sort of an icon, and I guess we can vote above this icon, and then below, and then right next to that we've got what is the best way to lose weight, and then on the right we've got 0 useful. So okay, I'm still trying to grasp what's going on here. So we've got a list basically of questions.
Yeah, scroll through some of these examples.
What is the best
Further down the
iPhone
list.
language translator? What is the best alternative to Photoshop for Windows? What is the best startup event? What is the best note-taking app? What is the best deals? What is the best YouTube monitoring? What is the best WordPress AdSense plugin? All right, so Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong. So this is more like a list of the best of. Am I wrong?
Good point.
Discover the
Well,
best product.
yeah, so I think they could do a little bit of a better job seeding their content, which is one of your typical critiques of the websites. I can tell you that they are the content is currently all very early adopter startup niche community people jumping in here.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a question mark, right? So it's kind of a question and answer type situation
Yeah.
is the data type. So you can see that people are going in and gaming this to promote their company.
Possibly.
So
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
saying, what is the best place to buy this stuff? Me. That's fine, but it's kind of giving us an idea of how the system works, I guess.
Right.
It'd be nice to see again less some other examples that weren't so early adopter web based.
I
But
completely
yeah, you're
agree.
on a detail page here now.
And honestly, there's nothing wrong with going after the techie early adopter market. It's just that there's not a lot of activity, at least not from what I'm seeing. And also, one issue I have with this, Jeff, is that this to me. So I clicked on one here. Let me just click on the one, best startup event hackathon, right? And then when you click on it, you get sort of a this one or that one. You get two choices, and I really like this pattern. The problem though, for me to get to this detail page, I have to click to get to here. It would have been better if it was just a this or that. I would have preferred that to be part of the list, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe
honestly,
this should
why?
have been in the list.
What?
Well, I'm thinking there can be more than two options, but
Oh, I see. Okay, well, you're right. And it does say there are two more options.
suggest solutions, yeah.
There are two more options to solve. Sign in to discover more. Okay, I have to sign in to get to the more. All right, so let's say I click on Startup Weekend, and okay, so that shows me the image. It doesn't really show me. I guess I have to sign in to get to more. All right, so fine. We this thing is a question, question and answer. It gives you a couple of choices. You answer the choice. And
I
then it
really
just
do like
tallies.
some of the questions, though. I mean, some of these were like, what is the best WordPress plugin for like a photo gallery?
Yeah.
I mean, I think some of like this problem is really tough. You're looking for the best tool to solve the job, right?
Yeah.
What's your pain?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's just I want a decent WordPress plugin to have social sharing.
Right.
It's really hard to find too often, and so I think this is a pretty good take at that. It looks like the website could use a little polish to get at the usability. Oh, it's got some responsive design. It looks like.
Yeah. I'm trying to get this timer in view here. All right, so with that, Jeff, let's go ahead and rate this because I think we've seen enough here. I'm gonna give it a. Oh boy, I think I'll give it a 3. Well, I want to give it a 2 because I don't. From a design perspective, I think it could. I'm torn. I'll give it a 3. It needs to be better design in my opinion. Originality, 2. Survival, 2, and marketing, 2. I think if they went for a tighter niche, if they wanted to just focus on the best of for like photographers, then I could see that working, and I could see them also gaining traction. When they're trying to discover the best product for your daily problems, that's such a massive thing. It looks like the daily problems that they're covering are startup problems or website problems. I mean, it looks like a lot of them are app problems. So if they're going to do that, just nicheify it and do that. It's a little bit too general in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's all about the seed content, but I love the idea that they're going after, and I wish them luck. And I think this could really solve a lot of problems for people, which is what we love.
Yeah. All right. So with that, let's move on. Famous. famo.us. Okay, so this is one I added. I had this discussion with Jeff about the kind of startups that we want to cover and trying to keep them consumer oriented and not so techy and geeky. But I saw this and it just blew my mind.
Wow!
Because I actually,
what is this, Amul?
So this reminds me of my old friend Flash. So it's basically.
Yeah, let's tell people that are listening. You're at www.famo.us.
So basically, these guys have figured out a way to, one of the biggest problems when you're trying to get sort of three-dimensional content and content that's like layers and layers of stuff moving around, is that the web or the browser is based around a document object model. It's based around normal documents, not necessarily three-dimensional space and all these layers moving around and animation and that kind of stuff. And that's changing with CSS3 and all, but it's still not as fast as like an app. And so these guys have basically found a way to take a browser and to take WebKit, and WebKit is being used in Chrome and Safari and now Opera, and now it's being used on TV and on mobile, and make it almost like an app platform. They even say it in their little blurb here. Welcome to Famous, a JavaScript engine that solves the HTML5 performance problem. And so they're getting 40 frames to 60 frames per second on phones, tablets, PCs, television, blah, 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 yada, yada. No plugins, no Flash, no WebGL, no Canvas. All works in modern browsers. It's incredible, actually.
Wow, everything is DOM.
Everything is DOM. So look at this. Look at this. I'm doing this, and I right-click, and clearly this is HTML. This is not fancy stuff. I mean, I don't know how they're doing this. And it
So
looks like
the
they're
example they have on the page is what do you call this? The element table.
yeah. So if I click here, look at this. And look how fast this is. This is amazing. I saw this. I thought it was
Periodic
Flash at
table.
first.
This is beautiful.
You know, I read a little bit more, and look how
Oh, there you
fast this
go.
is. This is amazing.
Yep.
It is really incredible work. I thought this was mind blowing. If they do deliver on this, and make it available to any developer for 65K as as the sort of the download, this could
Is the
really be
size?
revolutionary. One of the main issues of having an app is you can have all this amazing performance that you can't get in an HTML5 document. And we were going to talk about this, Jeff, with the Facebook thing, and you wanted to talk about this a while back. But anyways, this gets us closer to delivering native app performance within the browser, within not having to download an app. You can have it just as fast in the browser, and for tablets and for the web.
Yeah, which is a silver bullet, right? Because the web means open standards.
Yeah.
And then if it works on the same in your Chrome browser here as it does in your mobile phone browser,
Yeah.
wow, that's just like that's it,
Yeah, that's it,
It's
right?
the
You built.
platform,
Yeah.
it's
You
the
build
platform
once.
of information that you can get to from any internet connected device in the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so these guys, there was even a quote by Mark Anderson about how the App Store is just a blip along the way. HTML5 is going to be the global standard, and I'm a believer in it. I really believe once technologies like this make the app and the native experience almost the same, why would anybody want to develop a separate app? The only reason why to do that is for the one-click 99 cents, the monetization opportunities that
I was
affords
just
you.
thinking about that. I forget what was going through my head, but something about, Amazon and I'm sure there's like an Amazon app, right? But then they would have to pay like 30% of everything to Apple.
To Apple or to
You know,
Amazon or whoever you go through. Yeah, yeah,
well, yeah, but think about Amazon wanting to be in the Apple Store.
right.
And so it's a huge deal because they're just immediately giving 30% of their business to Apple basically just to
Yeah,
be in the store. So I
exactly.
forget there's specific stories about this, and I think they end up like linking out of the app, just as a workaround. They just pop you into the Safari app on your phone
Right.
to do the transaction or something like that because. Yeah, I mean, the power is in HTML and it's really not in native apps. But
Absolutely.
it is nice to have those stores and the directories, obviously.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I thought this was
So
so
how?
mind blowing that I had to bring it up. It reminded me of my old fan Flash. I used to be a Flash
Yeah.
lover, but everybody's turned, especially since Steve Jobs turned his back on Adobe, it pretty soured the whole industry on Flash. Anyways, I was reading this. It's really interesting. They say in their blurb on Angel List, it's been long claimed that HTML5 will disrupt the native app ecosystem, but current HTML5s are neither performant nor easy to build. Even Facebook pulled out of HTML5. So whoever solves this will create $1 billion business and unlock a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem. That's a pretty
Wow.
powerful statement, and to some degree, I kind of agree with it. I kind of agree. I think they are. If whoever cracks this nut, they're going to be the one. I mean, you'll be building. I mean, I can't imagine anybody not using something like this, right, Jeff?
Um, yeah, I mean, so what is the business model here? How are they
So a
gonna?
very good question. I think
And
they're
it looks
trying.
like they have $1 million in funding
They
right
do have
below.
some money in funding. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know if they're going to sell an SDK. I don't know if they're going to sell some
Right.
tooling around their technology. I know they're trying to create somewhat open source so that it gets adoption. Maybe they'll do support. There might be ways of building something of an ecosystem around this. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I look
So
forward to
so
seeing more
a
on them.
similar company would be like Sencha Touch or
Yeah.
Sencha. I mean,
Yeah, and
those guys have
they
been
can get
doing
acquired
JavaScript like this for a long time.
yeah, they can get acquired possibly by a larger outfit like an Adobe, for example. Maybe
Hmm.
this is the new future Splash. I don't know.
Right.
Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4 for design. It's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Originality
gonna give it the same.
4, survival, marketing. The guy behind it is behind PowerSet. He's clearly a very
Oh,
smart guy.
Power Set. Oh, I love
Yeah,
those guys. I think those are the guys I quote his article on hiring that he wrote like a massive essay with a lot of really insightful stuff in it. One of the guys from Power Set. They definitely have a open-minded approach to things. Um, So I'm trying to think what the other library was that did DOM manipulation like this, but it's really great to see it using the DOM and not Canvas and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's
With
not
high
using Canvas
performance.
or OpenGL. I'm telling you, Jeff. I was playing. I was reading about this on my iPad, and it was just as
Uh-huh.
fast as I just
Yep.
showed you. I was blown away. Like it didn't crash my iPad. It worked.
It's
And
awesome.
if these guys can literally bring that experience to the tablets and the iPhones and the Androids, and it's definitely they have instant distribution. It solves a distribution problem, and that is connected to money. Distribution and money are interlinked. So all right. So
So
with
it's
that,
time for us to start making some HTML5 games, I think, more.
yeah, yeah, no joke. All right, so with that, Jeff, I think we should call it a
Sign
close.
off.
We're at 20 minutes now. I want to try to keep these as short as possible. Any last words?
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I think this format's been going pretty well. A news story and a couple startups that we review. We'd love to hear from our audience what you guys think. If this is satisfying you, or you want more or less, or something else, let us know.
Yeah, and please, please give us feedback. We love getting feedback from you guys, and let
Yep.
us know that we're not doing this alone in the dark. That there are people actually like watching and letting us know what they think. So, all right, with that, I'll see you guys next time.
All right, see you tomorrow.